just do the nod, then the stage party will rise. So the platform party here, they're really good about it. Obviously, they've been all the time, right? So I'll make sure they rise and that the stage party rises. And so if you just take kind of a quick look over your shoulder, just to make sure kind of everybody's standing, and then you lead the procession out. So then you just turn exactly and make a beeline straight for the exit.
Good morning, everyone. I'm David, and we're pleased to celebrate our graduates from the Faculty of Health and Community Studies at this morning's convocation ceremony. At this time, I acknowledge the talented group of individuals behind me who, under the direction of Raymond Barree, comprise the MacEwan University Big Band. I would like to remind you that the Winspear Center is an acoustically responsive hall, so we ask that if you are carrying any electronic devices, you take a moment now to turn them off for the duration of the ceremony. If you need to step outside the concert hall, the Winspear has monitors in the lobby from which you can watch the ceremony. A professional photographer will be taking photographs of our graduates as they cross the stage and backstage after they have received their parchments. Information on how to obtain the photos will be forwarded to graduates at a later date. We now have one more musical number, and then the ceremony will begin.
Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. How can I go on dear without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me?
Once again, please join me in a round of applause for the MacEwan University Big Bands. Everyone, if you are able, please rise. At this time, I am pleased to introduce the mace bearer for this ceremony. Maria Smythe, assistant professor from the Faculty of Health and Community Studies, is carrying the university's mace, which was donated to the university in 1997 by its namesake, Dr. Grant MacEwan, and became the official mace in 2008. It is especially meaningful to the university as it was hand-carved by Dr. MacEwan. Further information on the mace and other convocation traditions can be found in your convocation program. The faculty procession is led by Dr. Nancy Thomas, Associate Professor from the Faculty of Health and Community Studies. Please remain standing for the academic procession.
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. I am delighted to welcome you to this morning's convocation ceremony. Today's convocation is indeed a wonderful and celebratory one as we recognize our graduates for their achievement at MacEwan University. Graduates, distinguished guests, members of the stage party, faculty, staff, and all others in attendance, my name is Dr. Annette Trimby, and I'm President and Vice Chancellor. I would first like to take time to acknowledge that the land on which we gather in Treaty 6 territory is the traditional gathering place for many Indigenous people. We honor and respect the history, languages, ceremonies, and culture of the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples who call this territory home. The First Peoples' connection to the land teaches us about our inherent responsibility to protect and respect Mother Earth. With this acknowledgement, we honor the ancestors and children who have been buried here, missing and murdered Indigenous women and men, in the process of ongoing collective healing for all human beings. We are reminded that we are all treaty people and of the responsibility we have to one another. This week, as part of our convocation ceremonies, we recognize and celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day. Created in 1982, it is an important day of acknowledgement, solidarity, and celebration. Recognizing the history and future of Indigenous peoples across Canada is appropriate as we celebrate education and learning. I am so pleased we are able to incorporate the voices of our Indigenous community and the talent and creativity of Indigenous musicians. I would like to invite our Indigenous knowledge keeper, Daphne Alexis, to provide an Indigenous invocation. Protocol has been offered in advance.
Ishnish, Aboastit, Daphne Alexis MacEwan, Wakamne Shidaha Himut, Pinimat Nen Wahina, Ogi Yapchin Wakonabi, Tabaga. Good day, my name is Daphne Alexis. I'm from the Alexis Nakota Sioux Nation, just west of here. And it is an honor to come and say the opening prayer for this ceremony. And I will do that. The protocol that is given to me, it is in respect of the 7 directions in prayer, and it's in honor of Mother Earth, in respect to Mother Earth. And what I'm going to be doing is singing a prayer song, which also connects us to the 7 directions and the protocol. Ishnish, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Daphne, for your prayer and for starting us off in a good way. Celebration and sharing of Indigenous culture are key to building a strong future for Indigenous people here at MacEwan, in Edmonton, and across the country. I'm grateful to be able to welcome Latana Wachui Alexis from Alexis Nakota Sioux Nation and Dalen O'Cheese from Goldfish Lake. Latana is a fancy dancer and Dalen is a jingle dancer. They will be joined by the Logan Alexis Singers. The Logan Alexis Singers is a round dance group composed of family members and proteges of the late Logan Alexis, respected elder of the community of the Alexis First Nation. Thank you, Latana, Dalen, and the Logan Alexis Singers. What a wonderful performance. Thank you for celebrating with us today. Please now stand for the singing of our national anthem, led by Miranda Smith. Please be seated. I now have the privilege of introducing Dr. Tony Fields, MacEwan's first Chancellor. We were honored when Dr. Fields took on the role of MacEwan's first Chancellor last spring. Dr. Fields has had a long and distinguished career in medicine as a physician, teacher, researcher, and administrator. Most recently, he was a professor of oncology at the University of Alberta and vice president of cancer care for Alberta Health Services before retiring in 2011. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Fields to officially open Convocation.
Thank you, President Trimby. Welcome to MacEwan University's 2022 Spring Convocation. I have the honor and pleasure of conferring your academic credentials today. As Chancellor, I declare MacEwan University's Convocation open. At this academic ceremony, we will honor our 2022 graduates by conferring degrees, diplomas, and certificates, and we will recognize the outstanding achievements of students of MacEwan University. Graduation from a university is one of the substantial passages in life, and it deserves to be showcased and celebrated at a ceremony shared with one's classmates, loved ones, and teachers. The COVID-19 pandemic prevented us from holding in-person spring convocations in 2020 and 2021. It is wonderful to be back to our fulsome tradition in 2022. And this is the year in which we celebrated MacEwan's 50th anniversary. I extend a warm welcome to all who are here today, also to those who are joining us online. Graduates, today is all about you, and we are honored to be here to celebrate your achievements. During your years at MacEwan, you applied yourselves diligently to your studies. You rose to the challenges inherent in advanced learning, also to the complexities and constraints caused by the pandemic. You gained valuable knowledge and you learned key skills. You also acquired important attributes such as collegiality, empathy, and curiosity. Your knowledge, skills, and attributes are the tools that will help you succeed in whatever field of work or further study you choose, enriching your careers and benefiting the communities you influence. Our world is changing, and the pace of change is increasing. Our experiences of just the past 2 years underscored this reality. None of us can predict with certainty the challenges and opportunities that we will face in our individual future paths. This uncertainty means that while your post-secondary credential will open doors for you, it is not a cruise control button. Adaptability to change will be a vital asset. I encourage you to embrace the value of lifelong learning that is so critical to meeting challenges and benefiting from opportunities. We believe that your time at MacEwan and your experiences here will have helped to prepare you to face the uncertainties of the future and to adapt to them. Indeed, we hope that we have sparked in you the ambition to shape a better future for our world and our societies, rather than simply cope with what the future throws at you. Thus, be curious about your changing world. Pose questions and seek answers. Engage with and learn from those around you. Recognize and harness the synergistic power of teamwork. As you graduate, you join the growing community of MacEwan alumni. Collectively, you and your fellow alumni demonstrate the many benefits that education at MacEwan contributes to our society across many disciplines and within our private, public, and voluntary sectors. I look forward to conferring your credentials here today, and also look forward to what you will accomplish in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fields. I have known Dr. Fields for a few decades, and I can attest that he lives the values he speaks of. He is a lifelong learner. He does exude compassion, and he is definitely curious as he gets to know MacEwan. When I'm out in community with Dr. Fields, he inevitably meets someone who knows him in his clinical capacity. And it's clear, I can see from standing by the side, that they are expressing their deepest gratitude. So I want to express my gratitude for you joining our community. I think we're very fortunate to have you. And for this convocation in particular, Health and Community Studies, he is a real role model for all of you. It is now my pleasure to introduce members of the stage party. And members of the stage party, please remain standing once you have been called. Members of the audience, please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. You have already met the Chancellor, Tony Fields. Next to him is our Board of Governors Chair, Carolyn Graham, and our Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. Craig Monk. Would members of our Board of Governors rise, please? Would our deans and vice presidents rise, please? I now ask our associate vice presidents and associate deans to stand, please. I would like to acknowledge our honorary doctorate recipient, Susan Green. Would other members of university administration rise, please? And I now ask the representatives of each of our associations, faculty, staff, alumni, and students to stand. And would our Indigenous knowledge keeper, Daphne Alexis, please rise? I now ask the mace bearer, distinguished proctor, and all remaining faculty and staff of the university to stand, please. This is our 2022 Convocation stage party. Together, they represent all the faculty and staff from across the university who have taught you, encouraged you, challenged you, supported you, and worked behind the scenes for you during your time at MacEwan University. And they are all honored to be here to celebrate with you today. Please join me in acknowledging all of them. Thank you, members of the stage party. You may be seated. I now invite Student Board Member Miles Dykes to read the MacEwan University's Student Invocation.
Good morning, everyone. Through learning, we flourish and help others to flourish. We stand here today on the brink of important change for ourselves and for the world. Inspired by the past, we now step forward to transform the future. Engaging with others, we cherish the diversity of experiences within our communities and ourselves. Through perseverance, we excel. Through compassion, we connect. Through creativity, we thrive. Through knowledge, we grow. Through all this and more, let us forge a legacy to nurture, to inspire, to endure. Moved by this spirit, strong in our knowledge, we move out into the world with open arms, open hearts, and open minds. We pledge to leave the world better than we found it. Thank you.
Thank you, Miles. Last spring, we conferred our first honorary doctorates, and today we are proud to confer another. We had extraordinary nominations for this year's honorary doctorates. As Edmonton's downtown university, MacEwan has developed a vibrant academic culture built on our deeply rooted community connections. Conferment of an honorary doctorate is the highest honor a university can grant a person. We recognize individuals that best illustrate the values and achievements that MacEwan graduates can aspire to. They are chosen for their exemplary work, both in their field and for their impact in community. I would like to invite Carolyn Graham, Chair of the Board of Governors of MacEwan University, to introduce this ceremony's honorary doctorate recipient.
Thank you, Dr. Trimby, and good morning, everyone. Conferring honorary doctorates is an opportunity for our community to benefit from the reflection and insights of our remarkable recipients, to learn from their amazing achievements, the high standard that they've set, and the challenges they've overcome. In a moment, I'll ask Susan Green, one of this year's recipients, to the stage. But first, I'd like to speak to a few of her many accomplishments. Susan spent 30 years in executive leadership roles at the University of Alberta, the Alberta Cancer Board, the Alberta Cancer Foundation, and the Government of Alberta. Throughout her successful business career, she's helped define Edmonton as a caring community, serving as chair or on executive committees for organizations that focus on advancing higher education, healthcare, and community development. In Susan's 14-year career with the Government of Alberta, she worked to advance policy on healthcare, culture, women's issues, and international aid. During her time as chair of the Alberta Liquor and Gaming Commission, the organization introduced critical social responsibility initiatives. She's been a strong supporter of post-secondary education, having served as Vice President External Relations of the University of Alberta and as a member of the University Senate and Board of Governors. Her work with the Lougheed Leadership College demonstrates her deep commitment to help develop the next generation of leaders. Susan has served on numerous community and nonprofit boards, including as chair of the Governance Committee for the Board of Directors of Habitat for Humanity Canada. She served on the boards of Crossroads International, the Rotary Club of Edmonton-Glenora, Edzim Kulu, a society for children with AIDS in South Africa, and the Lieutenant Governor of Alberta Arts Awards Foundation. As one of her nominators noted, her guidance does not end with the conclusion of a meeting. She's worked to mentor many women seeking their own board experience. Susan's recognitions include a Daughter of the Year Award from Canadians for a Civil Society, a Distinguished Citizen Award from MacEwan University, the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Award, Global Women of Vision, the Alberta Centennial Medal for Community Service and Professional Service, and Venture Magazine's Top 50 Influential Albertans. Susan has worked to define Edmonton as a caring community, one that cares about its own people and those around the world. We greatly appreciate that Susan is here with us today to inspire our community with her experience and perspectives. I'd now like to welcome Susan Green to the stage and for Chancellor Fields to confer the honorary doctorate.
Thank you, Board Chair Graham. As Chancellor of MacEwan University, by authority of the powers vested in me, I do hereby confer upon you, Susan Lee Green, the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa, and the honor and privileges that are proper to it. I now call upon the University Registrar to present you with the honorary doctorate hood.
Good morning, Chancellor Fields, President Trimby, Chair Graham, distinguished faculty, staff, friends, family, and most importantly, graduates. I look out and see an incredible group of students about to step out into the world. 2 years of managing through a pandemic has made both the challenges of getting a university education and the opportunities arising significantly different than anything we have seen in our lifetimes. The fact that you are here today shows that you are resilient, focused, and ready to take on the challenges of a complex, fast-paced, ever-changing world. As I think about the journey ahead of you, I thought I'd share a bit about my journey, which began 50 years ago in Sierra Leone when I was 22. Grant MacEwan Community College had just finished its first academic year. Now, I know I only look 39, so I ask you to suspend disbelief and follow me for a moment. There are 4 lessons that I'd like to share with you that I've learned along the way. Be bold, make mistakes, be resilient, and be kind. Let me start with a small story, a story about a small act of kindness. Between my 3rd and 4th year of university, I spent 4 months with Crossroads International, working in a health clinic, digging pit latrines, and distributing food and medicine in upcountry Sierra Leone. In some of the villages, children had never seen a white woman. They believed that white people would steal them away, so they would go screaming whenever I came. There was an elderly woman who, after a few weeks of watching me and even working beside me, took my hand in hers and said in Mende, the local language, "You're white and I'm black, but we're both the same inside." For me, that was a profound act of kindness. It was an act of compassion. Kindness costs us nothing. And simple acts of kindness not only lead to a life fulfilled, but in fact will help you advance the mission of your organization. I'd like to share a story about a couple from Edmonton who moved to South Africa as they felt the need to help in some way as the country was being ravaged by HIV/AIDS in the early 2000s. They thought they might build an orphanage, but they were moved by a letter written in the local newspaper by a young woman by the name of Zanele Makwenazi, who talked about the challenges in her village with healthcare and schooling and work. So Chris and Jim Newton went to that village, found Zanele, met the chief, and ended up with a plot of land. With the help of Canadian volunteers and people in the village, they built a kindergarten, a health clinic, a training center. They found healthcare and social service professionals. Money was raised in Canada to support these programs, and training began for women who would work in their own neighborhoods, identifying issues like child and spousal abuse, lack of food, illness, and ensured that solutions were found. That charity was Edzimkulu, a society for children of AIDS. The name is a combination of Edmonton and the Umzimkulu River, which flows through the area, thus building bridges. People very much like many in this room spent weeks and some even months working side by side some remarkable women in the village of Endawana. After 10 years, steps toward making a difference in a village of 4,000 resulted in positively impacting 400,000. The Newtons had a dream. Despite sometimes overwhelming challenges and a multitude of mistakes, their resilience prevailed. Edzimkulu was recognized by the United Nations and the government of South Africa for excellence in community health care. This little charity went from aid to development to sustainability when everything was transferred to various organizations in South Africa. Best yet, that work continues to this day. A great example of being bold can be seen in a vision of a man named Millard Fuller. In 1973, so almost 50 years, seems to be a theme here, Millard and his wife Linda developed a concept of partnership housing for their hometown of Georgia. The concept centered on those who in need of adequate housing would work side by side with volunteers to build decent, affordable homes. 3 years later, Habitat for Humanity International was founded. Today, Habitat has helped more than 39 million people in over 70 countries achieve strength, stability, and independence through safe, decent, affordable housing. That was a small dream that caught fire. When I first started volunteering with Habitat Edmonton, we were building 5 or 6 homes a year and sending money overseas for another 5 or 6 homes. Recognizing that we were barely making a dent in affordable housing, we started blue skying and very soon came up with a big, hairy, audacious goal. We set a goal of building 100 homes a year and serving another 100 families overseas in 5 years' time. We didn't make it in 5 years, but we did make it in 6. We made mistakes, believe me, like not properly consulting the community before we started building 30 homes in our midst. At times we were overwhelmed. We doubted that it could be done, but at the end of the day, we just had to be tougher than the job at hand, and at the end of the day, we were. At the beginning of my remarks, I spoke about resilience. It seems to me that you have that in spades. You have survived going to lectures in your bedrooms via Zoom, dealing with uncertainties, fears, isolation, loneliness, but you knew that your fellow students were pretty much in the same boat. So you began helping one another in different ways. You might even have celebrated some of the gifts that the restrictions around COVID gave us. The fact that you are walking across this stage today is evidence that you dug deep and you not only survived, but you thrived. All of this stands you in good stead as you move into careers in policing and corrections, social work, child and youth care, special needs. I have profound faith in your ability to change the world, one step at a time. Be bold, make mistakes, be resilient, and above all, be kind. And one final thought to leave you with. You are capable of way more than you think.
Thank you very much, Dr. Susan Green, and a shout out to her family and friends over there. It's awesome to have some of your time with us today. As you say, small dreams catch on fire, and certainly some of yours have had phenomenal ripples. So congratulations again. I now invite Chancellor Fields to join me for the presentation of graduands and conferring of credentials. Graduands, if you are able, please rise. I have to say that's a good sign. There's going to be great energy today as our graduates walk across the stage. On behalf of the faculties and schools of MacEwan University, I present these graduates and those named in the convocation program who are not at this ceremony. I ask that they be admitted to the MacEwan University credentials that they have earned.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the province of Alberta, and upon the recommendation of MacEwan University's General Faculties Council, I admit you to the degree, diploma, or certificate to which you are entitled, and I invest in you all the rights and privileges, powers and responsibilities pertaining to that credential. Now, I bestow upon you this credential as a solemn trust to transform, to engage, and to improve the world from this day forth, to teach and to learn from others, so that through your learning we may all flourish. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Fields. Graduates, you may have a seat. We're going to have a little music, and that will help people get organized to take you on stage. To begin with, the Logan Alexis Singers will return to the stage to perform with Bronson LaChance. Bronson is a youth men's traditional dancer. He hails from the Mikisew Cree Nation and tells stories through his traditional dancing and singing. Protocol was offered before the ceremony. Thank you, Bronson and the Logan Alexis Singers. In a moment, our marshals will bring graduates to the stage. Off stage to your right is Elliot Rose, Alumni Association representative. Elliot will present each graduate with a gift on behalf of the MacEwan University Alumni Association. The graduate procession is ordered by faculty and school. Student awards will be presented in advance of graduates. So this will be your moment to shine and be recognized for what you have accomplished. As you make your way across the stage, you'll see a footprint close to the mace, right there. What I ask you to do is please pause, you'll have your photo taken, and give a wave to those family and friends and your peer students that have helped you along your way. I'm thrilled to welcome our graduates to the stage. After 2 years of virtual ceremonies, we celebrated our first in-person convocation in the fall. This is our first full in-person spring convocation, and we're so excited to be able to see our graduates walk across the stage. And although we won't be shaking hands today, I know all of us will be proudly watching and cheering as each graduate crosses the stage. Cheering as each graduate crosses the stage, please. The Logan Alexis Singers will perform an honor song as the graduates are being assembled. So they'll start pulling you, and then probably about that side will be behind, and the rest of you can sit, and you will eventually be drawn ahead, all right? Here we go. I now invite Dr. Craig Monk, Provost and Vice President Academic, to come to the podium to give out a Governor General's Academic Medal.
Thank you, President Trimby. Good morning, everyone. I've been seated next to the board chair this morning doing the calculations in my mind. By my count, this is my 56th convocation ceremony as a member of the stage party. If you think about it, that's a long time to spend in a pointy hat. I just wanted to say, echoing the President's thoughts, that after what we've been through over the last 2 years, we don't take for granted the ability to gather together. So we're grateful that you're all here. It's the greatest privilege of my life to be Provost of MacEwan University, to work with the fabulous colleagues you see here on the stage and in the choir loft and back on campus. But I recognize that none of this is possible without the faith that the community places in us. So I just wanted to thank you all for being with us. I know you're just applauding the pointy hat. Created in 1873, the Governor-General's academic medals are awarded by the Government of Canada. These medals represent the most prestigious awards that Canadian students can receive, and the awards program encourages academic excellence across our nation. These medals are awarded at MacEwan University at 2 levels: bronze for a diploma recipient and silver for an undergraduate degree recipient. The Governor-General's Bronze Medal is awarded to the student who achieves the highest overall academic standing based on graduation grade point average upon completion of a post-secondary diploma program. As I invite her to join me on the stage, let me say a few words about Angela Schroeder, our Bronze Medal recipient. She rocks a pointy hat as well. Angela has demonstrated outstanding academic achievement, and she is graduating with a child and youth care diploma with a remarkable record, including an overwhelming number of A+ grades throughout her 2-year program. In describing another student's achievement yesterday, a dean spoke of an eye-watering academic transcript. I think that memorable and evocative adjective also applies here. Angela's professors describe her as an active, conscientious class participant who was passionate not only about the theory, but the practice of child and youth care. She received a perfect, let me repeat that, a perfect score in her practicum courses, demonstrating her ability to develop meaningful therapeutic relationships with the youth with whom she engaged during those practica. Faculty say, this is a quote, "Her greatest strength lies in her ability to advocate for change and to uplift and support those around her. Quick with a smile, a joke, or a word of encouragement, Angela is a joy to know as a student, as a developing practitioner, and as a person. Angela, our world should be led by people who are a joy to know. But for the day at least, we'll all have to content ourselves with seeing you take home this award. It is my pleasure to present to you the Governor-General's Bronze Medal. Congratulations.
At this time, I invite Cassie Prochnow, Interim Dean for the Faculty of Health and Community Studies, to come to the podium.
Thank you, Madam President, and good morning. In each faculty and school at MacEwan University, we recognize the students whose academic efforts place them at the top of their class. The Dean's Medals are the highest academic honor that may be granted by a faculty, and these medals recognize the exemplary success of individual students in an area of study. 1 award may be granted in a certificate or diploma program and 1 award in a degree program. The Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a degree program in the Faculty of Health and Community Studies is awarded to Megan Karkanis, a graduate of the Bachelor of Social Work program. I would like to invite our award winner to join me here on stage. It is my pleasure to recognize Megan Karkanis, to honor her accomplishments, commitment, and hard work as she completed the Bachelor of Social Work. Ms. Karkanis was an outstanding student who embodies what it means to be a social worker. She was exceptionally accountable during her studies and practicum experiences to her fellow classmates and their learning as well. She models empathy and respect for others and has an unwavering commitment to social justice. During her Bachelor of Social Work, she embraced a leadership role with her peers and consistently mentored others, all while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. Megan received glowing reviews during her field practicums, and her impact on the individuals and communities she served has been significant. One field supervisor described Megan's leaving at the completion of her practicum as leaving a void in their organization. During each of her field practicums, Megan embraced the learning opportunities, took initiative, and never shied away from challenging situations. Megan demonstrated a great deal of compassion for the people she served and consistently worked to preserve their innate worth and dignity. It is evident that her ability to build meaningful and transformative relationships in a short period of time is one of her superpowers. Megan is kind, warm, and clearly respected by her classmates and colleagues. Her achievements and contributions to MacEwan University, the City of Edmonton, and the social work profession demonstrate a standard of excellence that is unparalleled. It is my pleasure to present the Dean's Medal Award to a very deserving recipient, Megan Karkanis. The Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a certificate or diploma program in the Faculty of Health and Community Studies is awarded to Stephanie Matson, a graduate of the Therapist Assistant Diploma, Physical Therapist Assistant, Occupational Therapist Assistant program. Unfortunately, our award winner was unable to join us today. Nevertheless, I would like to recognize her achievements in absentia. I am pleased to recognize Stephanie for her outstanding achievement in completing the Therapist Assistant program. Stephanie demonstrated outstanding abilities from the onset. She's hardworking, intelligent, personable, and professional, graduating with a 4.0 GPA. Ms. Matson demonstrated exceptional theoretical and clinical skills in the academic setting. She transferred her knowledge and skills from the classroom into successful field placements, receiving the highest exemplary standing in all 3 of her field placement practicums. Feedback from her first clinical preceptor demonstrated her many attributes and significant potential to contribute to the field. As Stephanie was noted to be carrying 80 to 90% of a therapist assistant caseload independently by the end of her very first placement. Stephanie was described as polite, respectful, knowledgeable, organized, and reliable with an exceptional work ethic. It is without question that Stephanie is a deserving recipient of the Dean's Medal for her exceptional achievements in the Physical Therapist Assistant and Occupational Therapist Assistant Diploma program. We wish her well in her career. Congratulations to Stephanie on her outstanding achievement. Eminent Chancellor, Madam President, I now present to you the following graduates from the Faculty of Health and Community Studies.
And now presenting graduates receiving their Bachelor of Child and Youth Care. Jaden Elizabeth Adams. Josie Ellis Andrews. Binofsha Asadi. Elana Beaver. Muzit Henok Barakat. Miranda Rose Berg with distinction. Jorin Black.
Megan Kathleen Blockloss with distinction. Lisa Yeboah Bracco. Michael Gerard Canavan. Jaylene Amber Gagne with distinction. Ashlyn Iola Gloria Gansky with distinction. Nicole Alexandra Iturra. Shaylin June Korpash with distinction.
Kirsten Miranda Marchak with distinction. Paige Allison McEachran. Connor Melnick. Pamela Marie Noski. Peyton Loran O'Keefe with distinction. Hannah Marie Osbaldaston. Nurto Sheikh Osman.
Brittany Michelle Priestley. Cindy Gabriela Rivera Aldama. Rian Saab with distinction. Kendall James Samotiak. Diane Chavez Sevillo. Benjamin Thomas Sides. Cheyenne Marie Soutart with distinction. Miana Lee Spornitz.
Regan Joan Barbara Thorne with distinction. Andrea Marie Wan with distinction. Samantha Lucy Wright. And lastly, Beilasan Nesrin Yahia. And now presenting graduates receiving the Bachelor of Early Childhood Curriculum Studies. Arvin Kaur Bogal with distinction. Cassandra Marie Carroll.
Tichao Tsui. Dawn Marie Eagles, with distinction. Kayla Marie Gramlich. Waishan Guo. Rachel Lynn Condor. Roseanne Kwan. Melody Ann Rose Matter. Mackenzie Mary Ray Newhook, with distinction. Stephanie Margaret Rutsch. Apita Tour.
Jenny Lena Whiskey Jack. Laura Ann Williams with distinction. Hannah Wu. And lastly, Renshen Rick Zhang. And now presenting graduates receiving their Bachelor of Social Work. Uzia Mahamoud Abdi with distinction. Robel Dawit Area with distinction. Ambreen Babar.
Anissa Jade Baldeo, with distinction. Beverly Michelle Tangalo Baluyot, with distinction. Carrie Helen Cameron. Rosemary Carter. Shelby Cochrane. Juan Nu Dang, with distinction. Kaylee Nicole Duchak, with distinction.
Eden Rochelle Evans, with distinction. Kelly Christine Frederickson, with distinction. Chloe Marie Gelowitz. Taylor Hoberg. Brittany Paula Heinen. Kathy Hayrin Kim, with distinction. Kiara Lee Knoski, with distinction. Sarquin Labucan. Sabrina Nicole Link. Taylor Lena McMillan, with distinction.
Aislinn Helena Maria Makowski, with distinction. Rita Lucia Mota Martinez, with distinction. Kelsey Kombe Pindu. Karma Alia Omar, with distinction. Kurt Matthew Opheim, with distinction. Zainab Ozbey, with distinction.
Brittany Ann Palish. Ruhani Kaur Parmar, with distinction. Michael James Penner, with distinction. Delia Elizabeth Peary, with distinction. Haley Marie Fern Roberts. Jessica Natasha Rondo. Stephanie Allison Saltis.
Mandy Elizabeth Sauve. Fatima Shazad, with distinction. Kelsey Lynn Sosnowski. Sherry Adele Stack, with distinction. Rebecca June Trotter, with distinction. Alicia Nicole Waddleton, with distinction. Catherine Dawn Walker, with distinction. Jennifer Wang, with distinction. And lastly, Brittany Alicia Wills.
And now presenting graduates receiving their Bachelor of Applied Human Service Administration. Jimmy Kamboko Boaba. Beatrice Ann Bonzo Escaran. Sabrina Brooke Fabrice. Rebecca Angela Hung, with distinction. Jody Dominique La Liberté. Irene Saint-Savard. Candida Susan Michelle Strohan, with distinction. Gracia Nangalula Chinikmabe, with distinction.
And lastly, Ashley Marie Zimmerman. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Child and Youth Care Diploma. Mercedes Capito Cachuela. Shelby Carleen Furr, with distinction. Arcent Grace Piliin Javier, with distinction. Haley Maloa, with distinction. Stephanie Debbie Mary Smith.
Trisha Faye Magpusau Sompreke, with distinction. Nicole Lindy Steen, with distinction. Brennan Hope Isabella Turner, with distinction. Lastly, Leah Roxanne Byer. Cole Avery Blade. Kea Marie Chamberlain.
Amanda Lee Dombowski. Isabel Caitlin Friesen. Jazz Karan Greywall. Monica Marilyn Hoke, with distinction. Ashley Jeanette Holden, with distinction. Jalen Ava Jenkins. Hojung Kang. Morgan Grace Cuss. Hannah Mahan, with distinction.
Owen Theodore Miko. Angelo Paredes, with distinction. Summer Peranto. Sabrina Nicole Samaridney. Brooke Dana Sampert. Jasmine Sidhu. Deanna Reese Torgerson.
Madison Lynn Tournier. Madison Skyley Vogel. Julia Rose Warner with distinction. Rebecca Jade Woodkovich. Lastly. And now presenting graduates receiving the Early Learning and Childcare Diploma. Maureen Beatrice Cruz Amoroso with distinction. Shello Bautista with distinction. Ruvareshe Laura Chidya Maratamba.
Racine Athalie Magalanque Cortez. Alexandria Taylor Marie Frolic. Mariam Jafar Hajar. Gorgeous. Gadir Matroud. And lastly, Vanessa Ann Zartiga Oliva with distinction.
And now, presenting graduates receiving the Emergency Communications and Response Certificate. Kiara Elizabeth Galea. Tanner Philip Gali. Grace Gray, with distinction. Catherine Mary McKinnon, with distinction. Lara Lou Blanche Martine Renaud. Emma Patricia Diane Montgomery. Adrian Henry Vanderwell.
And lastly, Ernestine Ava Zur with distinction. And now presenting graduates receiving the Police and Investigations Diploma, Ace Jordan Arabe. Anthony Alexander Avalar. Carl Angelo Bala. Roman Basarab. Paul Justin Kabatbat. Cameron Alexander Carter. Tyler Chiponsky.
Patrick Angelo Corodan with distinction. Jesse Jason Dashkaluk. Cheryl Breeze Eleazar with distinction. Morgan Engelert. Kyla Marie Mendame Garcia. Gregory Dean Hamp. Cassidy Page Hartwick with distinction. Bryn Avery Hennig. Hussein Ismail.
Troy Jackson. Karan Joshi. Demira Jody Q. Cora Heather Cooley. Spencer April Noel Kilfoyle. Shelby Ray Klug Weisbeck. Riker Kenneth Lamab.
Sarah Emily Lesmeister. John Paolo Meglantai. Jose Verhel Marapale. Summerlin Lynn Payne with distinction. Carlouise Dakai Pinilli. Jan Lloyd Eugenio Regadio. Jessinel Leron Ramos.
Vikas Rathe. Brianna Lee Ravina. Mila Stojanovic. Leighton Daniel Wessel with distinction. Eslam Weyush. And lastly, Esteban Zelaya Berrias.
And now, presenting graduates receiving the Social Work Diploma. Kimberly Dawn Allward. Cassie Raylene Anderson with distinction. Stephanie Lauren Andrews. Nia Artan. Kristen Era Ballad. Letitia Renee Byron. Tanya Mader Soa.
Sydney Myra Ecker. Lauren Nicole Earhart, with distinction. Jan Haustra. Ayan Mohammed Jama. Kuldeep Kaur. Miles Knudsen. Derek Coop.
Cassandra Anna Mae McKenzie. Naomi Maguta. Janina Nariz Mangahas. Jose Melgar. Chelsea Metka. Isaac Niamwea Obiri.
Riley Dawn Osatchuk. Riona Owen. Aliyah Ashira Permar. Tonya Lauren Pratt. Parinas Rajoy. Lisel Pinto Reyes. Cassie Robinson.
Destiny Ray Waswell. Christy Kerr Saki. Roberta Shepard, with distinction. Maria Sim Higgins. Stephanie Quentz Suereda. Irinya Tatarska. Alice Umarangwa. Sylvia Infon Vala.
Kristen Elena Marie Waugh, with distinction. Dinatu Nache Zamane. Lastly, and now presenting graduates receiving their Special Needs Educational Assistance Certificate, Amal Abad. Francesca Noel Balbin. Sarah Barnard with distinction. Diana Beatrice Benitez Zalada.
Crystal Benoit. Brindy Veronica Brown with distinction. Marina Bárbara Castellón. Ashton Chloe Duss. Ashley Hope Foster. Syra Mateen Khalid. Lindsay Kratko.
Hina Majbour. Christianelle Zalgote Mamuyak. Chantel Bernadette Smith. Janine Rebecca Spang. And lastly, Sha Ju, with distinction. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Therapist Assistant Diploma. Sukhmandeep Kaur.
Kia Herschel Lavello Bien. Bryn Katrina Boyku. Cassandra Taylor Chenek. Megan Denbroder. Shelley Denise Dunsford with distinction. Sage Marie Farmer. Alyssa Brooke Fitzgerald with distinction. Emily Ray Gorder.
Killian Hammond. Danielle Nicole Hansen. Jake Jolia. Cherish Francesca Jimenez. Afisha Ramiz Mansouri. Janine May Sanchez Paet. Carly Drew Perry.
Jaira G. Ropa. Marina Anna Schmidt. With distinction. Melissa Danielle Smedella. And lastly, Eleanor Jane Smits.
And now presenting graduates receiving their Bachelor of Physical Education. Eric Jordan Elias King, lastly.
All right. Congratulations to all our award winners and our graduating class of 2022. Are you feeling a little relieved? Yeah, I think this ceremony delivered on energy, and I did pick up a little bit of relief from some of you, but anyways, well done, everybody, and I do appreciate just how much everybody cheered for one another. I personally want to thank the people who read out your names, and I do get to see you smile, in particular if they get it perfect, and I do like, sometimes there's a pause and you're waiting for the end, and anyways, it's really great for us. We get to see you smile, we get to see you relax, and I do want to thank you for choosing MacEwan and coming here, and relax for a little bit more because we're going to hear some music, we're going to hear a student address, we're going to hear from an alumni, and our esteemed Chancellor is going to close. But you've walked across the stage, nothing bad happened, there will be fabulous photos, and you will remember this fondly. Other than the heat, because I know there's a lot of fans going, but anyways, it's good energy, good energy. So we had a 50th anniversary at MacEwan this year. And what a better way to celebrate that than to let our students tell our story. And at MacEwan, we tell stories in a variety of ways. This one is going to be through music. The lyricist of this piece is from the Faculty of Arts and Science. The musical composer is from the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications. And I think you will find that this choral piece captures the excellence of our students and the creative, collaborative community that is MacEwan. A community of possibility.
Oh
Heart of the City, composed by Bachelor of Music student Aaron Adaricio, with poetry and lyrics written by Bachelor of Arts student Madison Matthews, performed by MacEwan's fabulous big band. One more round of applause, please. This year, the student address will be provided by the recipient of the MacEwan University President's Medal for Academic Excellence and Student Leadership. The President's Medal recognizes graduating students who have made an outstanding contribution to campus activities while maintaining a superior academic record. The recipient of the President's Medal is Elaine Tran, a graduate of the Sociology program in the Bachelor of Arts. Elaine achieved a GPA of 3.463 over the course of her program. Her academic work includes a published paper, an academic book review, and a second-place finalist in an international essay competition. Elaine is also an advocate for students through her work with the Students Association of MacEwan. She promoted a more diverse campus through her work with Champions of Diversity and Equity and by helping to create the Human Rights, Diversity, and Equity Student Club. She has taken on critical contemporary topics. Her honors thesis analyzed the discourse around anti-Asian racism amid the COVID-19 pandemic in Canadian local and national media. Elaine's passion for community is demonstrated in her work with the John Humphrey Centre for Peace and Human Rights, Girl Up Alberta, and the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization. Among our many successful, creative, and innovative graduates, Elaine's work and attitude stood out. Indeed, one of her nominators wrote, "I rarely see students with such deep intellectual curiosity, perseverance, and grit." Elaine has provided a recorded student address. She spoke to us live yesterday. This one is on video. Please enjoy.
Thank you, Dr. Trimby, for the introduction. Welcome administrators, faculty, distinguished guests, family, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2022. When I was asked to share a message with all of you today, I recalled an adage from my dad: cut the crap and get to the point. So with that, I will aim to keep my remarks brief. After reflecting and ruminating on the past 5 years I've spent at MacEwan, I realized what made my experience a uniquely fruitful, joyous, and rewarding one: my sense of courage, curiosity, and resilience. I arrived at MacEwan in the fall of 2017. I had just graduated high school a few months earlier, and I entered the clock tower doors with eagerness and excitement at the abilities I would develop, the experiences I would acquire, and the knowledge I would gain. Though, like many of you, I'm sure, as much as I was excited and grateful, I was equally afraid and fearful. Today, as we celebrate our accomplishments and achievements, I hope that we can look back and reflect on the seasons that have passed us in our educational journey and be reminded of our unapologetic and unwavering courage, curiosity, and resilience. Our sense of courage and curiosity has led us to achieve and experience many firsts. Like me, some of you may be the first to graduate university in your family, the first to introduce yourself to someone new, the first to offer your perspective in class, the first to ask a question that has never been asked, the first to re-enter post-secondary after many years away from formal education, or the first to fulfill and live your dreams. Our sense of resilience has led us through minus 30-degree days running to catch the 7:30 a.m. train, to cramming last minute for a midterm, to crying at least once on campus, to drinks at Towers amid finals season, to napping at any open spot you could find, to encouraging conversations with instructors and faculty members, to laughs shared on the way to class, to standing in the 27 feet long Tim Hortons line in Building 6, and to surviving in a global pandemic. Our sense of resilience is not short in supply. I hope you know that all of these experiences, some daunting and unspoken of, led you to today, one of the most exciting and rewarding days of your life. Finally, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the people that contributed to the 5 years I've spent here. Thank you to my dad, my brother Kevin, the trio of women who raised me, Bucknam, Paula, Buckeye, Austin, my partner, my friends, and of course, my instructors. Thank you for empowering, supporting, and uplifting me when I needed it the most. I am here because of you. Now, as I look out into the crowd, I feel immense joy and pride because I am confident that all of us, to draw on what Dr. J.W. Grant MacEwan has said, will leave MacEwan a better place than when we found it, and will continue to make great strides of positive change in each and every one of our future endeavors. We will continue to have courage, be curious, and exemplify resilience. Congratulations, class of 2022. We have so much to be proud of.
Thank you, Elaine. I cannot help but reflect on what Dr. Susan Green shared with respect to the values she lives by and the advice that she gave, and commonalities. They might use slightly different language, but they both spoke of resiliency. They both spoke of being bold and curious. Susan talked about making mistakes. Maybe Elaine's too young to have made any just yet. No, just kidding. She's very humble. We got to sit with her and her family yesterday. Both of these women, if you think about it, have had phenomenal ripples of impact. You spoke of small dreams that catch fire, and certainly Elaine has definitely had a positive impact on our graduating class of 2022. So thanks, Elaine. I now request Elliot Rose, Alumni Association representative, to the podium.
I'm going to stick to the script today, but before we begin, I did notice nobody mentioned my GPA. We'll let that one ruminate. Good morning and congratulations, class of 2022. As a Bachelor of Commerce graduate and a representative of MacEwan's Alumni Associate Council, I'm thrilled to congratulate you on your academic achievement and be the first to welcome you to the Alumni Association. I still remember my first day on campus, going to my first class, meeting my classmates, and navigating the halls of MacEwan. The memories of my time spent on campus remain with me today. As each of you look around the room today and embark on your own journey, remember that you are leaving MacEwan with so much more than a credential. I'm here to remind you that friendships and memorable moments that you shaped throughout your experience over these past few years will continue to stay with you no matter what path you take. You now join over 84,000 MacEwan alumni who are making a difference in communities across the province, nation, and globe. This is a group of peers who you now share a common experience with. Connect with them, stay connected with them, and with each other, and continue to cheer on our Griffins. Stay involved with the MacEwan University community and perhaps walk the halls. It's a great opportunity to be a mentor to the next generation of students. You are an important part of our university's legacy. I hope that you embrace being a MacEwan alum in the same way you embraced being a MacEwan student, with commitment and passion. Once again, on behalf of the Alumni Association, congratulations, class of 2022. Enjoy this moment. You've earned it. Thank you.
Thank you, Elliot Rose, for those wise words. And welcome to your new role as MacEwan University alumni. And I can say, and this follows on what Elliot said, that MacEwan recognizes you as our greatest ambassadors within our community, which expands beyond Edmonton, beyond Alberta, even beyond Canada. So welcome, alumni. This brings us to the closing moments of our ceremony. And I would like to thank all of you who have joined us in person or online today. It gives me great pleasure to thank the many people in our MacEwan community who have worked hard to make this convocation happen. Faculty, I want to thank you for all your work. You ensured that your students were engaged in meaningful academic experiences that have built their success here today. Graduates, I'd like to once again congratulate you on all your success. While this signifies the end of your academic career here at MacEwan, it is not the end of your lifelong journey of learning. I know that there are many people that have helped you on your journey thus far. I'd like to invite you, our graduates, to express your appreciation to those who have supported you along the way. Would the faculty, family, and friends of our graduates please rise? Graduates, a round of applause, please. Faculty, family, and friends, you may be seated. And now, in turn, I ask the graduates to rise, and I invite our audience, faculty, and staff to join me in congratulating the class 2022. Wow. The applause meter is working hard for MacEwan. Just before we close, I would just like to ask the faculty, we're going to leave. First, the stage party will leave, then the new graduates will leave, and I'll ask family and friends, please remain seated until our graduates have left the auditorium. And with that, I declare this convocation closed.